Gnomes, the short, enigmatic engineers of Azeroth, well known for their tinkers and toys throughout the World of Warcraft. You will find them predominantly in Dunmoreau, where they co-inhabit the zone with the dwarves of Ironforge. Rumour has it there are also rare sightings of large raids of gnomes running naked from New Tinkertown to Orgrimmar and Elwyn Forest. Looking at the video title, I know what you must be thinking. Gnomes? Important? Tommy, you must be joking. There's a reason why they haven't been in the cinematic. Well, for the most part I agree with you. Gnomes can be pretty daft, and there are hundreds of gnome jokes floating around the twisting nether. Why can't gnomes be paladins, I hear you ask? Because they can't reach the light? All joking aside though, here is my top 5 most important gnomes in the World of Warcraft. At number 5 we have Gearmaster Mechazord. This mecha gnome is from the Borean Tundra in Northrend, and shed a huge light on the origin of gnomes. He claimed to be one of the first gnomes ever created, like their dwarven cousins, by the Titans. It has become clear that mechagnomes were created by the Titans for a certain purpose by Mimiron, and much like the Earthen, were then affected by the curse of flesh, to eventually be transformed into the gnomes we see today. Gearmaster Mechazord was unearthed at the Fizzcrank airstrip in the Borean Tundra. When he was recovered, he began rewarding the gnomes by transforming the gnomes into mechagnomes, aimed to rid them of the curse of the flesh. Heroes were sent to kill him because of his deranged crusade against organic life. Both Great Mother Tiger of the Horde and Fizzcrank Full Throttle of the Alliance have placed a bounty on his head. Coming in at number 4 we have Silas Darkmoon. Silas Darkmoon is the friendly and passionate founder of the Darkmoon Fair, an exotic bunch of wandering showmen who together celebrate the wondrous and mysterious idiosyncrasies found in Azeroth. The fair comes around once a month on Darkmoon Island, and has many games, a lot of booze, and the renowned Azeroth supergroup, the elite Tauren Chieftan. It is shown in the comic book, Blood Runs Thicker, that he hates seeing violence happening at the fairgrounds, but also that when his friends or indeed his family of freaks are threatened, he has no qualms about using violence in the service of justice. It's such a shame that he is too short to ride his own rides. At number 3 we have High Tinker Gelbin Mekka. High Tinker is the highest office in Gnomeregan, and has been held by the crafty Gelbin Mekka for the past 7 to 9 years. Gelbin is one of the most renowned inventors ever, and his inventions include the Mechanostrider, the Repair Bot, the Deep Run Tram, and the Gyromatic Micro Adjuster.
I just love to tinker.
He is honoured as a just and skillful leader amongst the Alliance. Not only important for his inventions, when the Trogs began their invasion of Gnomeregan, Mekka, at the recommendation of his chief advisor, Mechanier Thermaplug, ordered that the city be bathed in toxic radiation. Though the radiation stopped the Trogs' advance, it ultimately killed more gnomes than the Trogs. Now, the High Tinker carries the weight of the dead on his shoulders, and seeks to avenge his people by reclaiming their lost city. He has made substantial steps in reclaiming the city, and has recently recaptured New Tinkertown. His quest to reclaim the city still continues, however.
For Gnomeregan!
At number 2 we have the notorious Millhouse Manastorm. Millhouse Manastorm is a gnome mage first found imprisoned in the Alcatraz wing of Tempest Keep. He found himself there out of pure circumstance, as his thirst for power brought him to the Nari prison of dangerous and dark things. Here he was trapped near Harbinger Skyris, a devotee of the old gods. Players helped Millhouse escape the Alcatraz, and he was not seen again.
Prison taught me one very important lesson. Well, 2 if you count how to hold your soap. But yes, survival!
That was until the Cataclysm, as a member of the Twilight's Hammer cult. It is rumoured that his proximity to the old godlover Skyris converted him to their cause. He is involved in their operations in Deepholm, and appears numerous times in the Stone Core instance. He has apparently acquired a new spell called Impending Doom, but its effects are unknown, as he is interrupted by the arrival of Corberus. He was presumably killed in this impact, but this was not the case, as Millhouse returns in the Mists of Pandaria as a final boss in the Brawlers Guild.
I'm gonna light you up, sweet cheeks!
He can also be found in the Warlords of Draenor as a garrison follower. You can also get a toy to turn yourself into him, such is his notoriety. He is best known for the things he says.
Lowly? I don't care who you are, friend. No one refers to the mighty Millhouse Manastorm as lowly.
And in pole position we have Mechanier Seco Thermaplug. Mechanier Thermaplug was once a brilliant and wise tinker, who despite being incredibly frail, was destined to be High Tinker. He cunningly laid the way to the seat, charming people to his side, and cranking out one great invention after the next. He worked unceasingly towards his goal, for Thermaplug planned not only making High Tinker, but also becoming the gnome's first true king in over 400 years. However, when the Council of Tinkers decided that Thermaplug was too ambitious, they chose his friend, Gelbin Mekka instead. This drove Thermaplug insane. Thermaplug planned on getting revenge over Mekka, and after gaining favour among the intellectual elite, Thermaplug eventually won the seat of advisor to the High Tinker. He served as Mekka's chief advisor for many years, and it was his idea that during the Trog invasion, the gnomes shut themselves from the world. Thermaplug claimed that the world outside didn't need to be bothered by small gnomish problems, for he had an idea that would both destroy the image of Mekka and win him the throne. After weeks of debate, he convinced Mekka to flood the halls of Gnomeregon with a radiation bomb, thus killing the Trogs. If a few gnomes died in the process, he stated, it would be a worthy sacrifice for saving the entire race. The radiation of the city wiped out 80% of the gnomish population. It is rumoured that Thermaplug actually knew of the Trog invasion before it began, and that he ushered in the events that befell the gnomish race. Unluckily for Thermaplug, and for reasons that he cannot remember, he found himself locked inside Gnomeregon when the bomb release began. Despite his age and fragility, he did not die. He lived and mutated into a leper gnome. The radiation killed more gnomes than Trogs, and many other gnomes in Gnomeregon's walls also suffered from radiation and became leper gnomes. In the ensuing chaos, Thermaplug began calling himself a king. To this day, he rules over the leper gnomes and continues fighting the Trogs.
Usurpers! Gnomeregon is mine!
He lives permanently within a purpose-built mechanical walker, and considers himself to be the High Tinker of a shattered city. And there we have it, my top 5 most important gnomes in the World of Warcraft. We've seen some pretty badass and important gnomes here today, and yet, even with all the stuff they have said and achieved, they are still too silly to be in a cinematic. See ya!